Here we go. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Make sure I can hear me because I had adjusted the settings. I forgot about that. But what's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the Den. If you're not familiar with the Den, well, where have you been? But the Den is the best conversation on the internet. You get an echo sound, or you get? Oh, you don't. Okay, I don't know if you still get an echo or not. So where have you been? The Den is the best conversation on the internet. The reason why I feel that way is because of all of you wonderful people, man, and like I say, everything that you guys bring to the conversation. Um, I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. Just for you being you. If nobody's thanked you for being you recently, well then I thank you for being you because everybody brings their own personality, their own just way of thinking to the den. I think it's a beautiful thing, man. I love it. So, um, some interesting things have taken place. But if y'all don't know, man, I have a good friend of the den, a longtime friend of the den, joining us this evening. If you don't know who he is, well, maybe you're a little newer to the den. If you do know who he is, well, then you already know what kind of evening it's going to be. Who do we got joining us tonight?
What's going on, everybody? This is Boy Man up one more again. I said that just for Heidi. Back in the mix, trying to chop it up. Let's get on to this topic. I think this was a crazy one. If y'all haven't heard about it, let's talk about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's talk about the topic and let's see who we got joining us this evening, and then let's get into some. Let's get into. I think this is going to be a wild evening. I'm just predicting. When we do get to the line, it's going to be crazy. So, if y'all don't know, Boosie on the IG, he's been wild on the IG as of late. Been saying a lot of crazy stuff. Had something about want to have a woman have intercourse with a horse. That's not just a rap line because it rhymes. It was a real thing. He was talking to Michael Blackson, and that was a pretty funny conversation. Mike Black said they would deport him and the horse. He didn't want to do it. Then he's been having some very fun IG times during the quarantine. And I'm not mad at him. Have a good time. Do what you got to do. Entertain yourself. Well, after that, Boosie went and said recently that, when his sons were 12 and 13, that he uh, procured a lady and utilized her services for his young sons in a fallacious manner. And, got that party started. So, was he right for being honest? Was he wrong for doing what he did? Is that a journey into manhood? Is that molestation? Is that some type of sexual penalty towards that? So I want to know your thoughts. We're going to get into that. We're going to dig a little deeper into that and explain it a little bit more. And but before we do that, let's see what we have joining us, man. Let's talk about. I mean, it should be a very entertaining evening tonight. It's a terrible topic, but it should be interesting. Miss Bell, what's the motherfucking deal? Strong and Grand, what's the motherfucking deal? Cultured, the Don of the Discord in the building this evening. What's the motherfucking deal? How are you doing this evening, sir? John, my favorite New Yorker, D the Gamma, how are you? What's the motherfucking deal? Miss the lovely Marie Lovely, how are you doing this evening, man? Beyond Funny, I ain't giving you no credit, nigga. I was gonna do that shit anyway. I'd be on Twitter and that shit was trending topic on Twitter, so I don't want to hear that shit. I just happened to, see that you suggested. But what's up to Beyond Funny, nigga? Shout out to Beyond Funny, nigga. Views of Phoenix. I don't know if you really want to be. I don't know if you want to be Boosie when you grow up. I mean, maybe not. Tammy Dixon, how are you doing this evening, ma'am? I apologize. Good to see you. Let's see. Sweetberry in the building. What's the motherfucking deal, Miss Sweetberry? How are you, ma'am? Just Sarah, the lovely Miss Just Sarah. How are you this evening? Diddly doo. Miss Cartier, how are you? I hope everything is well out in LV. Man Cave holding down the chat and the stream. Appreciate the love. Let's see. Lady Licious is here, so do what you want to do, whatever with that, however you feel. If you're happy about that, cool. If you're not, cool. Whatever. I'm just playing. Miss Lady Licious, how are you this evening? Free Jen Smith, what's the motherfucking deal? How are you this evening, man? Let me see. Broderick Brooks. What's the motherfucker? Broderick, yeah, see, y'all gotta watch out for Broderick, man. Yeah, Broderick, I've been noticing Broderick has become a very humorous individual over the last few months, especially in the Discord. You gotta watch out for Broderick. Broderick have been cracking up yesterday. Misty, how are you doing, Miss Misty? We gotta talk, Miss Misty. I hope everything is well. We gotta discuss some things. Jaja Air, what's the motherfucking deal? And D Love, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Jason S, what's the motherfucking deal? Uh, God DK, I'm Dakota. I'm assuming it's Dakota. I don't know if you changed the name or not. Um, let's see. Heidi's here. There's that. If you're that kind of thing. 335 in building. What's the motherfucking deal? And Shaolin Fantastic. Always good to see Mr. Shaolin Fantastic. Okay. Shannon, what? Man, Shannon, how are you, Shannon? I was actually wondering the other day, how was Miss Shannon? 'Cause we hadn't seen you in a while, so I hope all is well. That's about as nice as I'm going to be to you, Miss Shannon, but good to see you. All right. So, Lady Tia, what's the motherfucking deal? And if I missed you, I didn't dish you. We got a lot to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Oh, Professor Trio, what's the motherfucking deal? Shout out to Professor Trio. Um, so, so, I mean, here
Shout out
we
to
are,
Trill,
but
man.
yeah,
Shout out to Trill, man. Me and him chopped it up late last night. Shout out to Trill.
okay. I wouldn't want to talk to Professor Trio, but hey, if you enjoyed the conversation, man, I ain't mad at you. Shout out to Professor Trio. It is what it is, baby.
Oh,
Nah. Professor Trill's actually he's not a bad dude, man. He's not a bad guy. But honestly, so Boosie out there tripping. He's really, really, really tripping. But I want to have a real conversation. This is the den. You know what I mean? This is the den, and what he said is unfortunately not surprising in a way. Because males are always going to be viewed differently than females, especially at a young age. And you want to start teaching the young men to get out there, conquer, to achieve, to stack up wins, if you will, to put it in a polite fashion. And maybe you feel like, okay, well, I'm doing this. I'm giving them a head start, getting them in the right direction. Excuse me.
bless,
Excuse me. Pardon me.
bless.
I guess I think you feel like you have to supervise their first, situation. Maybe you're a part of it. I don't know if it's a memory thing, but maybe it's viewed as a rite of passage. I don't know. But again, like I said, I'm not surprised. It's not surprising to hear, somebody taking someone, basically a young male, to an event or something like that where more adult activity is happening. You know what I'm saying? That's not a thing. But these are your kids. People say, oh, well, you got a choice in how they grow up, and they talk about. Somebody was talking about what is the shit called? Um, I forgot. I'll think of it in a minute. But basically, the age of consent, and different things like that. Like, do you think as a parent you should be allowed to, make a decision like that? Because you say, if a kid is young, you could as a parent
Just
say, well,
Sarah
yeah, I'll allow them to
donated
get married, you can
$2
sign
through
them away, or
Super
whatever you
Chat.
want to call it.
Misty is
So should you
calling
be
collect
allowed
from
to
the
do
big
something like
house.
that?
Crying face.
Mr.
Crying
Collins coming from
face.
the big house. But should a parent be allowed to, or should this be considered a crime? Should this be criminal? Because if you flip the script, if it was the other way around, if you flip the sexes involved, I don't think anybody would be bragging about that. I don't think anybody would be, too keen on it. So we were talking about double standards with you the other evening, and this is we would be one of those double standards that kind of exist. But what are your thoughts on the whole story? Like, is it his own business? Did he do too much by talking? I mean, what are your thoughts on what happened with Mr. Boosie?
Well, first of all, let me say this is a double standard because you are right. If the roles are reversed, not too much will be said or done about this. Now, let's go ahead and get into this story. I think it's wrong because that's an underage child. You don't let them experience something of an adult nature like this at what 12 or 13 years old, something like that. He said his child was something like that. You don't let them experience adult activities at that age. You know, you especially you sitting there condoning and you paying somebody to partake in. I'm trying to choose my words wisely here, but you do not allow something like this to happen. Because if I'm not mistaken, it might not have been Boosie, but I think it was. I think I saw something in the news with him like maybe a year or so ago where he kicked some girls out of his house for his sons who's trying to have his sons and friends trying to run a train on him. If that wasn't Boosie, I think it was, but y'all could.
I was going to say, was that Boosie or was that Webby? Because I remember, I know
Okay, not just
Webby
fifties.
had some little crazy stories too. I don't know. I remember something about
Okay.
it, but I don't know if I, I actually heard the whole story.
Well, see, that situation was right on point because you don't allow stuff like that.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying to happen. So by Boosie sitting here paying somebody to put his 12 or 13-year-old child in the adult world, you're gonna bring all kinds of problems into that child's life.
mm,
You know what I'm saying, at an early age because they're not ready for adult activities. Hell, a lot of adults are not ready for adult activities.
this is true.
So a damn 12, 13-year-old definitely is not. Just like, a lot of times we try to keep our kids from seeing certain things on TV,
Mm,
listening to certain music. Certain events might occur when you out and about in the public or maybe at the park or something. I don't know, I'm just throwing something out there. You try to keep them from experiencing certain things because they are young and they're not ready for this stuff. So you don't want them to be exposed to certain things too soon, if that makes sense.
no, absolutely.
And then on top of that, if you encounter a sexual encounter, that should be something of your choice at the right appropriate age and time for you.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? It should not be encouraged by your parents to go get this happen. I'm gonna make this happen.
mm,
Cause I'm also at this here and remember when Ti was talking about he was making sure his daughter was still a virgin. That's another one of those kind of double standard type shit. You know what I'm saying? So
mm,
it's one of those things to where look, let your child grow up in the way that they should. And what
mm.
I mean by that, because I know everybody has a way of raising their own kids, and I'm not telling you how to raise your kids, but something like this,
Mm.
come on now, it just enough said
Yeah.
should not have taken place.
Yeah. And here's my thing. Um, sorry about that. My thing is like, I get it. I get it. You can talk about where Boosie's from and all these other things and keeping it real and all that. We know that it happens at that age. Like there's no surprise. I was probably active around that age. Getting in this shit I probably shouldn't have been. But I think for it to be kind of encouraged as opposed to you getting into it on your own right, I think it's two different things. And so, you know, and also I know being a young man around that age, once you kind of, fall into your first little, piece of hype or piece of action or whatever, then you're looking for the next piece. You kind of like, hey, that wasn't bad. I'm trying to try this again, and so you're gonna be out seeking the next. And so I think it takes your mind off of things that you should probably be focused on. Um, and again, like you say, everybody kind of has their own way of raising their kids. I think celebrity kids go through some things that regular folks could probably never. I mean, regular adults, like you said, don't they ain't even ready for. So I'm not saying that makes it any different, but I just think that I think they get treated like society. I mean, even think about these you see these young celebrities or whatever. They could be late teens or whatever. They're getting these adult clubs and things, and the whole world knows they're not old enough to be there, but nobody says anything. So I think like these when you have money, when you have fame or things like that, it's like again we're talking about double standard. Like people know it ain't right, but they won't say anything about it. Now, like I say, I noticed some old country shit, and I understand, again, like him probably trying to make it a right. And I understand if he did it, like you can't take it back; it's done now. But yeah, he probably, not probably, definitely shouldn't have said anything on IG. That was like, I think all the IG fame, you get a little too comfortable and saying things that you probably shouldn't say like. But I mean, Boosie's just he ain't got no filter. He's just gonna speak his mind. He gonna say whatever comes out, and so he's just being honest. Um, but maybe, just maybe, honesty is not always the best policy. You know what I'm saying? So I think, I don't know if they try to go back and do all that. But let's talk about the woman who was willing to do this. Like, what does that say about her? Like, what? I mean, and they didn't put her out there or anything like that. I think that would be real bad. But what does it say about a woman whose character is like that, though?
Shit, that says a whole lot too, because shit, she should be charged as well too. Boosie should be charged, and she should be charged. Uh, and it's like, okay, let's just throw this hypothetical out there. Let's just say Boosie said that he want to pay to get his son, his first piece of ass. And she was like, "Oh, okay. How old is he?" And let's just say he said he was 18. Let's just go by the nature. But as soon as you lay eyes on that kid, you should know right then and there. Oh, nope, I'm gone. Bye. Because good God, now guess what? You put this out there. You know what? Police could be looking for you. Now the police gonna wonder who in the hell was this man. I mean, excuse me, this woman that went ahead and performed this act with this little boy. So now, guess what? The mom of the excuse me, sorry, the mom of that son, you know what I'm saying, she's gonna, take him for everything he got, try to sue him, and it's just gonna be a trickling down effect. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say that all this is real. You know what I'm saying? And he's not lying. This really did happen. This is going to be a trickling down effect from he might be losing custody of his child, or maybe visitation. I don't know what the situation is, but losing his child, he can possibly get sued by the mom or their family, whatever the case is. That woman that went ahead and went through with this act, she can, get all kinds of trouble. So it's just going to be a trickling down effect for him in all kinds of which ways that he's not ready for. Because like I said, there's a lot of adults that's not ready for adult activity. So you damn sure don't encourage your kids to do it. And like you said there earlier, Honcho, yeah, if you go out and do it on your own, you know what I'm saying, that's a different ball game. I'm not encouraging that either, but that's a different ball game because, as a parent, you didn't sit there and say, I'm saying, I'm finna help you go, achieve this goal. You know what I'm saying? But then once you find it, let's just say the boy went and did it on his own, and Boosie found out, then that's when you be like, okay, what made you go and do this? You know what I'm saying? You try to say, hey, don't do this. You know what I'm saying? You're not ready. What if you got her pregnant? You only 13. All this crap. Well, I'm not saying we got pregnant, probably still shooting duck water, but you know what I'm saying. It's just one of those type things to where I'm just throwing hypotheticals out there because there's a whole bunch of stuff that can and probably will happen for this one little moment. You see what I'm saying? Now you got this boy walking around like he got big nuts and something like he badass that he got his first piece. And we all, hey, you right there, Free Jane, you could catch a disease. You right there too. Uh, but we as men, we know when we first got our first little piece of ass, man, we walk around like we got hair on our nuts and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we badass. But that's what I say. He's not ready for this.
Yeah.
Trust me, he's not ready.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So it's just one of those type of things to where, like I said, this one action can lead to all kinds of situations. You know what I'm saying? Especially that young, because we always talk about how 16, 17-year-old girls, 18, 19-year-old girls, really as well too, they get pregnant, have a baby. They are kids trying to raise a kid. They're not ready. So a damn sure a 12, 13-year-old ain't ready for this stuff.
correct. Yeah. I agree, man. I agree. It's it's a rather crazy situation. Again, like I say, when you have it from the other way, where you go out and do it on your own, you do have the ability. I think it puts you in a situation to talk to them, have these conversations. Because it's already on their mind. But I think if you're encouraging them, saying, "Hey, this is what's going to happen," you don't know if that's really what they want or not. Now, um, if I was a kid, would I be mad if Boosie was my father? It might be a different story. But we were thinking seriously, like about what's really going on. Again, if you want to play, we're playing fair, we're shooting straight down the aisle, like, and removing the double standards. Again, like I say, if you switched it and you were saying something like that, you would never suggest that, some grown man come violate a daughter like that. So, it's a situation where I get why people are upset. I absolutely understand it, and I don't blame them for being upset. At the same time, I understand some families are the way they are. And I'm not saying what every family does is the right thing, because there's a lot of families that probably have some very sketchy past or whatever it is that they do. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that I'm not surprised by hearing any of this. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of where I am with that. But let me see. Let me see. I would put a poll in here, but I guess I could do a little quick poll. Let's do a quick poll. 0 for no, 1 for yes. Do you agree with what Boosie did uh, to his sons? Do you think that he was wrong, or do you think that he was right?
Put mine up right now. 0. 0.
Double
I do
zeros.
not agree.
Okay, okay.
I would never do no shit like that.
Yeah,
Never.
yeah. That's crazy, man. I mean, I really do think it is. Like, I don't. And then again, we talk about culture and we talk about where people are raised in states, and there's different areas all across the country, and so people are different. Regional accents and behaviors and delicacies and all that good stuff. Um, but would you say that country folks maybe do stuff a little bit more differently? 'Cause I wouldn't say. I mean, I say it's just the country, like they out in the most rural. But Baton Rouge is not, I wouldn't say the most modern city. So the South is rather country. So would you say that country folks' mentality is different maybe than that of city folks, or do you think it's just maybe they both have similar minds, or they do similar things just in different ways?
Well, let me say this here. I know about Baton Rouge because that's where my mom is from. So I
Mm.
know Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Okay.
And just because you're country, there's still some stuff you gotta abide by.
Yeah.
Yeah, country folks do things a lot different from city folks. But come on. It's just one of those things. There's no excuse for this. There's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how to phrase this because it's just one of those type things to where when you was telling me this was the topic, I said, okay, I didn't really pay attention. I mean, I heard that Boo says or done some crazy shit, didn't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
So I went and looked it up. I'm like, wait a minute, what the? There's no way. I have a son. I have a daughter. No possible way in hell that I can encourage this shit. When my son was, 12, 13 years old, I was trying to keep him away from, I ain't gonna say keep him away, but trying to let him know he's not ready for adult stuff. Let me put it like that. And same with my daughter. I'm trying to let her know, look, I know when you go to school, some of these kids gonna be cursing, some of these kids gonna say and do some crazy nonsense stuff that you're gonna, just be shocked by and stuff like that. I sat down and I talked with her. Let her know what the deal is, what's going on. And I told her, I said, if you ever have any questions, feel free to ask me and your mom. And we'll try our best to answer. Things like that. But you don't expose these kids to something like this. Cause excuse me. Cause who's that? I think that was Jen. Free Jen said that. Uh, what if that little boy would have got a disease at 12, 13 years old? HIV. Try explaining that to a doctor. Any kind of sexually transmitted disease. Try explaining that to a doctor. Try explaining that to a police officer. Try explaining that to child protective services. You know, let me see how that works.
Misty, are you a Boosie fan or something? Misty, it's me. It is very interesting some of the comments that you have been sharing this evening. Hopefully, you will call in and share your thoughts in a little bit. Baton Rouge is awesome, Louisiana. I guess there are certain factors in which you could apply that would be similar. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. Not to be too unpleasant on Baton Rouge, but no. But like I said, here's my deal. It's unfortunate that we even know these kind of things, and I think that goes on to also talk about again, like I said, the power of social media and how quickly you can possibly put yourself in a situation. Like, ultimately, I don't think that it's going to be a deal. Celebrities don't. Again, from now, I know that Boosie guy that recently, beat some things, and they would probably like to put him back in jail. But I don't know, if him saying it, he could say he was just doing some shit on, the internet to be a joke. I'm sure there's plenty of ways he could get around that. Um, but I mean, I think it should show people too, also like how quickly, you can kind of ruin your reputation a little bit, depending on what it is. But my thing, I guess, with Boosie again, like I say, he's I wouldn't say he hadn't already blown up prior to this, free Boosie. Everybody knows about all that stuff. But my deal is like, I wonder if he really cares because
Mm.
I think people
Well,
who are Boosie fans like already have that mentality. Like if you like Lil Boosie music, like if you're like a real Lil Boosie fan, like you probably already have like a certain mentality. You know what I mean? And so I would think that people who are real Lil Boosie fans, not just fans because everybody's in his Instagram, let me go get some attention in his Instagram. But like I've been a Boosie fan since way back. Badass mixtapes and shit like that. Um, then I mean, prior to, yes, but then you're not gonna care because you don't know he just said some of the craziest shit. That wouldn't be like a surprise to you. That wouldn't even be like you wouldn't bat an eye to it. But like I said, with so many of these new people, because of the attention that's going down in there, I think these are the people who really got it like riled up because again, they're kind of new to him. They just like, oh, this guy's entertaining, and now, oh, he said something crazy, crazier than we thought he would, but to him it's something normal, and so now everybody's upset. So I think it's really those new people who were there looking for some clout anyway, didn't like what he said, and now they all trying to turn on him and throw him under the bus. But what he did wasn't the smartest thing in the world if that is the case.
well, you know what, you're right. Just because you said it on social media doesn't really mean it's true. So we are going off of hypotheticals here. The possibility that it is true. You know what I'm saying? And I dare, because I think back to what's her name? What Cardi B said that she used to drug and rape and rob men. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, and nothing happened to her. Because it's on social media, and and people can use social media for all kinds of different things. So whether it's true or not, what I'm saying, to boost their popularity or in music, their album sales, stuff like that. But beyond funny, said Cardi drug Honcho.
That's what I told you that dig beyond, man. That's what I said in the introduction that I couldn't stand him.
But yeah, it's just one. But like I said, we just speaking off of if it's true. So that that's what I'm going by. So, but the only thing that I'm saying here though is that it's not a good thing. I don't give a damn if it's a male or female. It's not a good thing. So, because like I said, all this goes down. Try explaining that to to like I said, a judge, a police officer, child protective services, a doctor. Just like if you catch a disease, a sexually transmitted disease, they gonna say, how in the hell this 13-year-old boy catch this? What was going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, Boosie is known for saying some crazy shit. He is, but come on now, you got to know where your filter is. You see what I'm saying? You got to. I say this to my wife and my daughter all the time. There's a limit to everything you say and do. There's a limit, and you do not cross that limit. Because once you cross that limit, 9 out of 10, there is no going back.
And Dakota, yes, it was just fellatio, but still, do you not think that that is a dangerous precedent? Because again, the end result is similar. Uh, and again, once you have that feeling, especially as a young man, once you went the first time you had that feeling, after you recovered, it was like heroin addicts. You chasing that feeling, with them trying to get it again. What they call that shit on heroin, chasing the dragon or some shit. You know, you were looking for that feeling again, and when you found some hype and some action, it was what it was. So,
Hmm.
uh, you know, my thing is, I'm just curious. Should he be canceled? And then again, like I say, that's a different thing. But I don't know. But Yeah, I mean, so it doesn't. Well, in your mind, does it make it a difference with the fact that it was fellatio versus having full blown intercourse? Do you think that changes the narrative, or is it still just as bad in your mind?
No, it's bad regardless. My personal opinion is bad regardless whether what I'm saying, you're doing the toppy toppy or the strokey strokey. I'm trying to use certain words, but y'all know what the hell I'm saying. I know that sounded funny coming from me, but you know what the hell I'm saying. But it doesn't matter. Like I said, it's kids are not ready for this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, shit, once a man gets his first little bit, woo-wee. You know what I'm
Heidi
saying? He don't know how
Kleindienst
to act. It
donated
is like a
$2
drug
through
addiction.
Super Chat.
You don't know how to
It's
act.
like giving a teen
So,
beer so they
you know what I'm
don't
saying?
seek it.
Okay, Heidi says like giving a teen a beer so they don't go seek it. That's very interesting too, because I'm glad you said that, because I think about when I was younger, and I had friends whose parents would, shit, they'd let us go on the weekends, go stay the weekend, and they'd fucking go buy a bunch of alcohol, and they wouldn't give a shit, and it was what it was. Just stay at the house. That was just the only rule. Don't go out from nowhere. Don't go somewhere else, going out and partying, getting fucked up. So Heidi says it's the same thing. Maybe controlling the environment in which this occurs, so that you can I guess be there for support, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that's the case?
I see where Heidi's coming from. It's kind of the same thing because it's still an adult activity, but this, no. No. It's kind of it's in the same ballpark. I put it like that. It's there in that ballpark. You know what I'm saying? But it's like playing on one side of the basketball goal and you're playing on this side. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you just drinking, you know what I'm saying, party with your friends, but over here they're taking a step further by doing something they definitely should not be doing. And I'm not condoning one way or the other. I would be like, no. You know what I'm saying? But one, of course, is way worse than the other. Just think about that for a moment. Yes, it's still not, both of them is not good. But would I let my little girl drink some alcohol when she's like 12, 13? No. I'm not going to encourage it. And I know a lot of, when I was growing up, I seen my aunts, uncles do that to their kid. Give them a shot of alcohol just to shut them the hell up and go tell them go lay down. Right? And I never done that.
Okay. Okay.
You're more likely to die from beer. Well, that's true. That's true.
Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, this is true. Beer and beer related activities, but
Heidi Kleindienst donated $2
good
through
old
Super
beer
Chat.
never got anybody
You're more
pregnant.
likely
Heidi,
to die from beer.
So how about that? Nobody got pregnant off Milwaukee's best. Okay, so you can say it compares to beer all you want to, or all that. I'm not gonna fall for your German propaganda. Not tonight, Heidi. It's not happening. Okay. Still love you though, so it's all good. I'm just not buying it tonight. Nah, but my thing is this, man. Like I said, and I get it. Different cultures, different environments, different neighborhoods. It really doesn't matter. Like I say, when you were young, sometimes you had a cool uncle who, would let you do shit you ain't had no business doing. And then you got to think of it from the kid's perspective too. And depending on what kind of kids you were, yeah, you was in a rush to be a grown up. You was in a rush to do grown up stuff. Some kids were late bloomers, so maybe they aren't into that. And again, I'm not saying that, because I talked often about, don't, you can't listen to fucking kids. Kids don't know what the fuck they want. And if I'm sitting here telling you that, D Wade's kid is young and don't know what the fuck he want, then how can I sit here and tell you, well, it's different with Boosie's kid. They know what they want because they're the same age or a year old. Like, that would be dumb. Like, so it's not a double standard. But again, you're going to be responsible in the long run. And I get it too, Myron. Like I said, I started fucking young too. I was fucking around that age, and I don't think it's the worst thing that can happen. But I think that once you start getting some of that, you start kind of getting distracted from certain things, as a young man, and you can lose focus, especially when you're in your school age years. But again, this is Boosie's kid. Boosie is well off. So his kids probably don't have to worry about like the same problems. You know what I'm saying? And again, there was no risk of pregnancy, so uh, there's that. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. A lot of different things can happen. Cancel Honcho. What? I can't be canceled. I can't be canceled. Cancel proof. Nah, damn it. I mean, I say that I'll be done tomorrow. What happened? What happened to the chat? Nah. So here's my thing though. Again, it was like it was very questionable. So again, like I said, I can't have that double standard. Like I say with D Wade's kids. So you're young, you don't know. Even though, like I say, you probably learning some things at that age, but it is what it is. I don't know, but
Heidi, three samples, Heidi.
Heidi,
Heidi, three samples. Come
terrible
on now.
person, Heidi.
Terrible. That just
Terrible,
terrible. No,
terrible
Heidi.
person. Let me see what y'all in here. The kid is 12 years old. I thought it was both of them. I thought one was 12 and one was 13. I thought said it was two of them. And if I'm not mistaken, and I want to know if this changes it at all, right? If I'm not mistaken, and I'm applying the lingo here, that not only did he say that his sons got some, but after they were done it, I believe he also got some. So, I don't know how awkward that makes it as a kid to say. I don't know. I guess some motherfuckers just don't care. I mean, if it ain't no like loving relationship, I guess you just don't give a shit. Maybe if it was like a chick that you was caring about, then you found out your pops was fucking with, that would probably fuck you up. But I guess this is just a jump off. It probably doesn't matter. But I think it would be very odd to say you participate in some type of situation. Your pops was around.
I'm not trying to get in something that I know my son been in.
Yeah.
No, man. I don't care if my son was an adult.
Yeah.
No, man. If I know this, no. Mm-mm.
Oh,
No.
it was him, his son, and his nephews. Oh yeah, see, like I told you, everybody got that one uncle. That
Oh,
one uncle that's cooler than the rest. You like hanging out with that uncle when you was young. Yeah, you like to hang out with that uncle. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm finna go hang out with Uncle, man. Uncle cool. Uncle
I go
Gee a
to
little bit.
Uncle house.
Yeah. Here's little siblings. Don't let nobody see you. Hurry up, boy. All right, yeah. Yeah, they did. You always had that one cool uncle, but then, it is what it is, man. So, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I think it's rather unfortunate, and we'll be able to call in a little bit. Misty, it's you. So, like I said, we have to make sure that we cover this discussion properly. But and how's it going out in Colorado, man? With everybody, are they opening back up? How are they handling things out there?
Man, with this crazy crap, man, they are starting to open things back up.
Mm.
They are starting to, I ain't gonna say get back to normal, because I think that's gonna be a long time, but they open some things back up to a certain capacity. Certain people, a certain amount of people at a certain amount of time. So but it's this is just one of those crazy things. I mean, I get it and I appreciate, everybody trying to, be safe and everything. But I don't know. I guess it's just something that you take advantage of because you're used to it. Just going out, going to do whatever you want, when you want, how you want, and all this stuff. But then when it's getting taken from you or limited, then it's like, you get a little anxious about things, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just one of those type of things to where, you put like this, for example, you used to going to the movies whenever you want. That ain't happening right now. The movie theaters are still closed, parking lots are empty and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's cool to be at home and stuff, but goddamn, my little
Man,
girl's just crazy.
and speaking of the movie thing, man, because that's very interesting. And I talked about it, I want to say maybe last week a little bit. I want to get your thoughts on this because everything's starting to come straight to the home now. I think they're releasing Scooby Doo's coming out, something else. It's a couple other movies that are coming out. They're bringing them straight to home, right? And recently, I won't say it was Universal, CEO of Universal or somebody like that, some higher ranking guy, went into some magazine, did an interview, and was saying that even when everything comes back, they intend to keep the straight to home thing going, right? And I mean, you have to because you've provided a service that's extremely convenient. You can't say, okay, well, everything's over, let's get rid of it. And so the CEO of AMC Theaters basically got mad and said, "Now, well, we're just not going to show any Universal movies," which I'm sure is a good chunk. You got like what, like Universal and Paramount, and maybe a couple other big majors. But I'm thinking you're taking a big chunk out of available cinematic art if you get rid of Universal Pictures. And so, do you think that that model has changed, that more people are going to adopt the straight to home model? You think theaters are in danger? Like I said, I don't know if you're a person who prefers to go out to the theater, but what do you think about that?
I think it will be because you're gonna have a lot of lazy people that's gonna be like, shit, why go to the movies, spend a whole lot of money on the popcorn, the sodas, and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? You can just watch it at home. But then you're still gonna have those that enjoys getting up and getting out. So I do think it is gonna take a hit. Don't get me wrong. It is. Will it be a big hit? That remains to be seen. You know what I'm saying? But and yeah, you're buying a large popcorn for that damn $7, $8. Like, god damn, when you can just go to the damn grocery store, get a bag of popcorn for like $2.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That's usually all you eat anyway. And you might not eat all that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And you go in your refrigerator, get you a soda or whatever, and sit down on your couch, watch a movie.
yeah,
But like I said, there are people like myself. I still like to get up and get out because you get tired of being at the house, so much. You want to get out and say relax your mind. You've been working all week and you just want to I don't know, go out and enjoy yourself. So yeah, I think it is going to take a hit, but it just remains to see how big that hit going to be. It's kind of like with the airlines. They are taking a huge hit, and they going to really take one because now I was looking up. Cause me and my wife plan on taking a vacation next year, and I'm looking up prices right now. They got round trip airfares from here to Hawaii for only $200. I was like, shit, fuck yeah.
yeah. You better jump on that shit, man. Yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah, the traveling and everything. I think. Do you think it's gonna be a big boom when everything kind of? Because I know different places are handling it different. Some people are saying they even threw an extra 3 months on, on the in California, and a couple other places too. I don't know how you may personally feel about that, but you know, once everything is going back, I think it's going to be a lot of people rushing back to try to do. Well, I don't know because I don't think it depends on how you handle your money, but I think there's going to be a lot of people rushing back to get into things. It's going to be interesting to see how everything pans out, and if people kind of stick to the pandemic model, and if we're doing a lot more remote work, if we're doing a lot more digital, operations, we can work from home and things like that. So I'm interested to see how everything changes.
Shit, I can't work from home. I still gotta get out there and bust my ass and work. So, so when I used to have a work from home job, that to me that was the hardest job I've ever had
Right.
because you're home, you're in your comfortable own environment. You feel like you can slack off, and you have to set boundaries for yourself. So, whew, that was hard as hell for me. I mean, some people can do it, I couldn't. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I think with this whole pandemic thing, because like I said, I don't know if you remember me saying this, but I uh in my spare time, my free time, I like to get out and go shoot some pool. That's what I like to do to clear my head sometimes. Of course, I can't do that now. No pool halls are open,
Correct.
so I have to wait. You know what I'm saying? And Heidi, flights to Houston is not as cheap as $10. Quit trying to quit trying to hurt us like that. Come on now.
Heidi is a
Heidi
Houston
been
hater. You know,
Heidi been on one today.
yeah, she a Houston hater. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, though. We ain't tripping. We ain't tripping. Okay, okay. Well, is there anything else, Mr. Man Up, that's on your mind? Anything else that you wanted to speak about that you hadn't had a chance to chat up since last time?
I don't know, man. We got everything out there, man. You know what I'm saying? But before I go, I do want to tell everybody, y'all go and buy y'all some damn merchandise. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can get one of these mugs right here. I got one. Y'all can get one too. Come on now, make it happen.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that. Roger, why you keep popping in and out talking about some yo? Is that like was that a safe word or something? I mean, do you need help? You know, let us know what's going on. But with that being said, man, I want to say shout out to Mr. Man Up, man. I appreciate you coming through as always. Hopefully, if I can stick to it this week, like I said, I think I'm like I'm one thing away from getting this situation resolved to where like I say, we can always have the guests on and have the Denline working properly. And once I get that fixed, man, it's definitely gonna be a good time. So I'm sure the Den folk will love to chop it up with Mr. Man Up directly. But I thank you for coming through. And again, for those of y'all who don't know, actually, what's been going on with the cookie business during the pandemic? Have you been making the cookies? You've been kind of chilling. How have things been going with that?
Oh no, I still make them. I mean, it has slowed down, but I still make them.
Okay.
Man, it's whew. It has slowed down a lot. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
I'm all right. I'm doing good. As long as you do right by your money, I'm all right.
Okay. Okay. Well, if y'all want some of the world's greatest cookies, you got to reach out. You got to holler at Mr. Man Up, man. That is the cookie man, the good ass cookie man. That's what they call him, man. That's man with the good ass cookies, man. Hey, holler and stop it, man. So shout out to Mr. Man Up, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. And like I said, we'll definitely link up again very soon. And for those of y'all who are in the chat, give me just a moment. I'm gonna flip the script real quick, and then so we'll get some good conversation going. So give me un momento, por favor. Yo. Alright. So, anyway, what were we talking about? I'm trying to get the cookies, man. The cookies are very exclusive. You gotta go through me if you want to get the cookies. You know what I'm saying? It's like a gatekeeper with the cookie. I'll link you up with the plug. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I've gotten extremely bored. Started playing with the thing. I'm singing y'all a song. I'm not gonna sing a song. Let's get some calls in, man. Notice now speak. Give me a second. All right. Back to business. Let us get some calls in. Let me get the line cracking here. Give me just one moment. And Yes. I'll do it like that. Yeah. California Love. I don't know. Let me see. There's a program that I use, and it's see, I gotta definitely get better about checking my messages. Let me see what's going on here. Let me make sure I'm using the right thing. I think it's this one. Yeah, you can do that, but it's not gonna work. What do you mean I got access to the microphone? Give me a second. Give me a second. It's gonna do some crazy stuff. Okay, this is the one I picked. This is the microphone. Oh, I might have did something wrong there. I might not have been. Yeah, that's the one. And all right, give me 1 second. I gotta, because the little fucking program is doing some whatever stuff it's doing it, and I gotta fix it. I gotta put it back. Maybe this is the case. Let me see something here. I guess we could try it like that. That might work. Yeah. If you can't hear me, we'll do like that. Okay, sorry about that. Yes, I do. I'm randomly. No. All right. Okay, give me 1 second. I think I got it figured out. Whatever's going on with this thing. All right. All right. Let me put the number up, and then we'll take some calls, and then we'll have a good old den time, man. Um, there's a whole bunch of different crazy stuff on here. So, there was something that was said that I want to talk about, but I'm gonna save it. Not today. We'll keep it. We'll keep it kosher for today. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling in to the den this evening? I might not be able. Let me make sure you can hear on here. Hold on. Might be this one. Dakota, you can hear me? God damn it. Well, y'all know who's calling. But for some reason, y'all can hear me, right? Let me know if y'all can still hear me. I'm trying to figure out what is shaking with this for some reason. I don't think that's it. Definitely no, that's not it. I'll make sure I got my audio up. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Well, I guess that helps too. I don't know. I don't think you can. I don't know if you can hear me or not. No, that's definitely not it. I definitely should have hit that. Yeah. And we'll try that again because that was very unsuccessful. But let me know in the chat if y'all can still hear me. You can hear it. Look, you didn't have to be so rude about it. Like I said, I fucking put that fucking little stupid sound program on being goofy and shit. And, oh, yeah. Hello. All right, so that's not it. But my thing is like, why can't I even hear? I should be able to hear something on my end, and I can't hear anything on my end. Something's going on with that. Huh? Hello. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I can't even hear anything on my end. Like, I should be able to hear. Give me something. No. I apologize. Y'all always know it's something. That's what happens when I try to get all creative and shit, and I just end up fucking a bunch of shit up. Hello, hello. Okay, so I don't know. Let me see. Hello, hello.
Just Sarah donated $2 through Super Chat. Free Misty, she ain't even do no fiffing.
All right, I
Hashtag
got
free
some
Misty.
shenanigans here. I don't know if it's on my end or what's going on. Hold on 1 second. I apologize. Y'all don't want to hear this shit. See, this is what happens when I try to be crafty and shit. All right, there we go. Okay. So now you can hear me now. There we go. I guess, like I said, that's what I get for trying to be all crafty with shit.
Yep.
Okay. So what's the motherfucking deal? What's on your mind there, Dakota, man?
Nothing doing nothing. So let me start my shit with I do not condone or support what he did. Again, I do not condone no support what he did, but I can understand it. And what I mean by that is, so, you know, the dude, he want to be able to control certain aspects of his kid's life. I don't know too much about the situation. I heard it was fellatio only. Does it make a difference? It just depends on who you are, whatever. But we as a society, and what I mean society, I mean Americans, have to stop telling people because it's good for us and it worked out for us.
Man up donated $4. Honcho working harder than a Wiggly stripper.
Case in point being, a man jumped on the boat, went to this island and said he was gonna preach the word of God to a bunch of people who had lived a certain way for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yes.
Fucked around and killed them, and it is what it is. So we have to look at shit objectively. Like, again, we wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't do it. There's people in the chat that wouldn't do it. But we can't condemn a man for doing what he thinks was right for his child, because that kid, especially in the hyperactive, over-sexualized, society we live in, they were going to find that shit no matter what. If somebody at school exposing it to them, if somebody in their dad's circle exposing it to them, their daddy's exposing them to it indirectly with the music, the videos, just life. They're being exposed to shit way earlier than what we were exposed to. So we got to stop saying, oh, he's a bad parent, he's this. And that very may be true. But it's his kids. That's all I can say. Those are his kids. And you got to stop saying, oh, you're bad because you did this. But, we just got to stop that bullshit as Americans telling, because we live a certain way doesn't mean everybody else, the rest of the world, has to live a certain way.
Okay. Well, and it's kind of funny when you talk about it. This is what I wanted to mention earlier, and we say, oh, that's not right, and that's, not good, and shame. But let's be honest, again, and I say it may be a more country thing, it may be a more southern thing, but there were some of our grandparents, maybe great-grandparents, getting, married off at ages close to that. I'm not saying that it was right then, it is what it is. But it's crazy how time can give a different perspective of, what's right and what's wrong. So I can see where you're coming from as far as, the world is kind of wild. So why not reach out and give them a guided experience as opposed to letting them find out on their own. And especially thinking about sons. Hey, my uncle's Lil Boosie. I'm gonna watch his videos and look at his music. Well, there's a certain message here. Hey, I want to be just like Lil Boosie. So, I mean, I can get where you're coming from. Again, like you said, we're not condoning it, but I can understand the perspective.
And in certain faiths, hold on, but in certain faiths like Judaism and Hebrew. In Hebrew, a woman is classified a woman, like full-grown woman, at the age of 12, because that's when most women start their period. It's really based on when they get their period. In Judaism, you have the bar mitzvah, which signifies the boy crossing into manhood at the age of 13. So are we going to tell them they're wrong? No, we can't, because it's a part of their religious faith. Now, do I believe he had religious motives behind this? No, not at all. He was just being Boosie. Boosie is fucking crazy. We all know that. I think cancer fucked him up. He beat cancer and he been fucked up ever since.
Well, damn. But like Boosie done like when you put it like that, you really think about like Boosie has done it all. He has, I believe he is diabetic, beat a murder rap, multiple murder raps, and beat cancer. That's a hell of a life, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's overcome a immense amount of adversity. So he could be thinking, this, because to us that shit is fucking statutory rape and child abuse. I mean, let's call it what it is. And he figured, I beat murder, I can beat this.
Yeah.
I don't know what his train of thought is. I'm just saying, if I went through the situations and the circumstances he did, I would be thinking that way too. But, back to the original point. All right. Back to the original point. Like, we have to stop that shit about everybody else being wrong. We're right. America's right. We're never wrong. And that is just not the case. That is not how the world operates. And we need to stop as a society perpetuating that bullshit. We can be wrong. It's okay. But with that being said, I don't have too much to say on the matter again. Let me reiterate. I do not condone
$1.
nor support
I will now proceed to consume spicy hot wingies of the buffalo variety.
Okay. Well, that's a bit. Well, that's a bit, Mr. Dakota. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts and being honest about how you feel about it.
No problem.
All right. You have a good evening, sir.
You too.
All right. And Heidi, I resent that statement if you're still in here. I am absolutely a cool uncle. Yes, I'll buy cookies and milk. Whoa. This voice sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's Misty. And how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Misty. I'm going to be honest, right? Okay. Your phone, I'm not going to put the phone number out and say anything, but your phone number scares me. And I'm sure you know why. And we'll leave it at that. But how are you, Miss Misty?
My phone number scares you. Oh. Yeah. I never killed her.
Well, good. Because,
Actually, guess what happened? Sometimes God works in mysterious ways. And, my dad ended up cussing her out, and they're currently separated. So, sometimes people reveal who they are, on their own. And I didn't even have to do anything. It was pretty.
And how long?
Pretty cool,
How long have they been together?
Well, remember I told you that my dad had just remarried, and and they weren't together any more than 2 or 3 months. But see, I know my dad. He's one of these type of, I told you he was much older than her and all that, and I didn't think that with his temper that he had, he was going to be able to hang in there much longer, because she's got some kind of ways about her or whatever. So my dad ended up, you know, pretty much kind of telling her off, and then telling her that they're going to have to separate. And, you know, he called today and talked to me. He said that he feels like he's probably, you know, it was probably a rash decision that he made, and that he wasn't really thinking, and that he feels like a divorce is probably going to be the way out of that. So that was good. But listen, we were here to talk about Boosie, right?
Yes, we are here to talk about.
Okay, so we are gonna talk about him.
Okay, let's talk about Boosie.
Okay, so I have a son. Say, you know, most of the kids down here in these parts of the woods, if you want to call it the South or whatever you wanted to call it, or the country or whatever. Boosie has his own clothing line that costs quite a bit of money. It's called Jewel House. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the kids, you know, wanted that stuff, and that's making, you know, that's making Boosie money because, you know, of his clothing label.
Yes. And
Boosie has alcohol. Boosie has cologne that is either out or on its way out. Boosie has some sort of chips, you know, potato chips, different things with Boosie's logo, name on it, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So Boosie is what I call, or I guess you would say, what I call simply sort of a hustler type of dude. Mm-hmm. He, you know, he talks a lot of shit, and he does a lot of shit that's wrong, mm-hmm. and all of that. But I watch some of the moves that he makes, you know, as we're going along, you know, I see, like, some of the moves he makes, and, like, he was telling Vlad, you know, he does a lot of interviews with Vlad, which probably I don't think it's right to let Vlad taste him. Mm. Everything Boosie does, whether it be on a song, he might get $15,000 for a song, a verse on a song, or he might get, you know, whatever. So you got to think about it. He's got all this, you know, clothes, cologne, chips, booze, whatever, revenue coming in from all of that. He's got some other things in motion that I've heard him mention, possibly a restaurant, possibly something else, and, you know, just some things. So my opinion. Oh, and let me get to the lives. Those lives that he does, he gets paid to sit in the house sometimes just to stir up shit on live, maybe $10,000 a live, and all he's got to do is sit there and act stupid, you know? And that is a true fact. That is a true fact. He is getting paid to go on live and do a bunch of crap just to be doing it. He admitted it himself. It came right out of his mouth, and I knew that was pretty true. And he said, you know, that who wouldn't sit in their house, like he said, you know, and do, well, I mean, maybe people that are not going to do the same thing that Boosie would do would probably sit in the house and not do that. But, you know, him being him, you know, like you said, he's not going to sit in the house and do certain things. So he can do 4 lives a day. And if you add that up to the correct thing, it's about $40,000 for basically doing nothing, for just stirring up a little controversy, right? Mm-hmm. So, okay, all right. Then you got all the merchandise stuff going on that I just named to you. Mm-hmm. Then you got the lives going on, you know, the lives that he does and stuff like that, where he talks real stupid, acts real stupid. He's also in the midst of making a movie of his life story. A lot of the songs that he does come out with don't really do great, but there's a few of them, they do well enough, you know, and he's what you call, to me, just like a hustler. I mean, he hustles. He doesn't have just one thing going. He's always got something going, you know, all the time. You know, like I said, you know, restaurant, clothing line, you know, cologne, this, that, and the other. What he did, do I condone that with a 12 or 13-year-old or 14-year-old? And his son is Tootie, that's the oldest one, so I guess that's who it would have to be that he's talking about, or they're talking about. And no, I do not condone that. I do not agree with it, and I think it's a mess. And do I think that half the stuff that he's doing for money is good? Hell no. Some of his songs are okay to me. There's some of them that's got some good beats, and some of them that's got
Just
some real
Sarah
words in
donated
them,
$2 through
that
Super Chat.
I understand,
Honcho is
that
thinking
kind
of a
of
happy
do make a
place.
little sense,
Smiley face.
or whatever.
Smiley face.
But
Smiley
Boosie
face.
is just plain out, he don't care what he says. He is plain out, he will tell those women, I'm not getting married. I don't want to be married. I've got 7 or 8 baby mamas. I've got 10 kids, all of that. And his first thing is nothing's going to keep him from the money. That's the first thing that he'll be, tell whoever, that talks to him when he's on there. Nothing's going to keep me away from the money, because that's what comes first, the money. Then my kids and, whatever. I'm sure his kids come first, but I'm just saying, the money. So I don't really think that it's all about, because, him and Webby fell out. Webby is kind of just on his own, not doing anything. And Boosie said, hey, I love the motherfucker to death. He said, but I got to keep making my boss moves, because I've got to keep my money up to a certain standard. He said it's harder, he said, having money, because there's a lot of things that come with having money. I would think, I don't have lots of money, but I would agree that there probably is a lot more things that come with having having more money. I don't agree with his values. I don't agree with the way that he, tells certain things to his kids or whatever. But you got to look at it. How much is for show and how much is for real? Because I've heard 2 different sides of Boosie. And I know for a fact that he gets paid for those lives. I know for a fact that he gets paid for those Vlad interviews that he does, and the Breakfast Club, and not to mention where else. This is what typically Boosie says. Boosie typically says that if it does not pay him any money, he doesn't even care if he has to go a mile down the road. If it doesn't pay him any money, forget it. He's not there, So with him being all about the money, yes, the thing with the kids, I'm 100% positive probably happened, but he is all about the money, and that's his thing. And, sure, he probably, I'm sure he probably loves his kids. His way of raising them may not be the way that we raise ours, but, he's always into something, keeping something going money-wise, because that's just his thing, and he wants to keep his money up. I got to get my bag up. I got to do this. I got to do that. If you listen to his songs and you listen, and you just keep in mind that half of the stuff, or at least 75% of the stuff
Just
you're seeing,
Sarah donated $5 through
because he's
Super
making
Chat.
$10,000
Honcho
for
is
a
writing
live.
Duck My Life.
That all he has to
rolling
do is
eyes
sit in his
face,
house
sleeping
and
face, person face
look
bumming.
stupid and
God,
ask somebody
please
to
make
show
it stop.
pussy on live,
My soul is crying.
or
She
their
doesn't
ass or
even
their
donate it.
titties or whatever,
Crying face. Crying
and
face.
people are paying him to do that and whatever, or getting up there with Vlad, smoking weed. All he's got to do is sit in a chair. I mean, hell, half the stuff he does is not even hard work, from my perspective. So, yeah, he's a hustler. He's making the money. He's bringing it in all these different directions. And he said, if I lose it one way, he was talking about the rappers because of coronavirus. He was talking about the rappers, how they couldn't go out and do their shows. He said, man, I had to keep the money coming in some way. So, basically, he's about the money. He's about getting his money. Don't give a fuck what nobody else thinks. And that's that, That's the way. Will he go back to prison? I don't know, because if he keeps on messing around with certain things he does, he could end up with himself in some big trouble. But as far as his money situation, pretty damn smart on the money situation, because if I could sell clothes, alcohol, chips, whatever, put Misty across the front of it and sell it and get paid or whatever, I wouldn't go on live and be naked, and do all this old crap that he's doing. But he's, got the thing behind him, the reputation, the rapper mentality, the whatever people think that are behind him. He's Boosie Badass, He's supposed to be doing these things. That's what he He's not living up to his name if he don't do these things. So yeah, so basically that's Boosie for you. But he's making his money. You know, he's bringing in his bags of money, and you know, that's the part that I can't fault him for, because he's getting offers. I mean, you know, he's putting on his like I said, he's putting on his website. You know, I'll do a verse on your song on your music for 15,000. I'll do this for 20,000. You know, as far as the money. If we're talking money, we're talking visits. If we're not talking money, we ain't talking shit. That's basically what he said. So, yeah, I mean, you know, that's how he's keeping his money up, is by all these different revenues, which is most of them. But Boosie is what you call a little bit lower. You know, he's not known worldwide. He's not been at the BETs. He's not, you know, none of that. So he has to keep his stuff going on his own, you know, and find ways and hustle and do whatever it is, you know, that he does.
Just Sarah donated $2 through Super Chat.
Hell, he's
Honcho
got
is thinking
10
about
kids.
Taco Bell, romantic
gotta
face,
support some joker
man
somehow,
dancing,
you know.
man dancing,
So,
man dancing.
yeah, so that's the story with Boosie. So what do you think about that?
Well, Miss Misty, I'm surprised.
Or what is the chat? Or what is the chat thing? I can't read what they're even saying, but I know that what I'm telling you is the truth, because I'm down here in Alabama. You know, that's right next door. We see all kinds of things. Like they have my son. You know, when he was 16 and 17, he was a Boosie fan. He didn't have to have, but he wanted a Jewel House jacket. That's Boosie's brand, Jewel House. He wanted some Jewel House sweatpants. You got to think, the jacket was almost $200. The sweatpants were $80-something. The little T-shirt he got was such and such amount of dollars. If they're making that off of it, how much is Boosie making? You know what I'm saying? So you got to think, he's bringing in the money. So, you know, that doesn't mean that he's a great parent, but he was taught, he's telling them some things that, you know, his dad died when he was young. His dad did not die of drugs and all this kind of stuff. His dad was a preacher. You go back and do some research. Boosie's dad was an actual preacher. They went to church. Boosie wasn't always a, you know, whatever you want to call it. A lot of the shit he does is for show, for game, for all of that stuff. You know, a lot of the shit he does is just because he knows that he needs to live up to that standard of the name Boosie Badass, so he will do and say whatever he needs to do to make the money. And does he do bad things? Does he run through women? Yeah, he does. Because he doesn't ever want to get married. He said he never wants to get married. He just wants kids and, you know, and that's it, you know. And so he's just being himself. I mean, he's just being who he is.
Just Sarah donated $2
coming on
through
there,
Super Chat.
entertaining,
Honcho
laughing,
doesn't even
cutting
know
up,
what she
saying
was
whatever he
talking
wants
about.
to say, because they're expecting Boosie to say it and do it, and that's just it in a nutshell, you know. Basically, that's it.
So.
And he's got a lot of ways that he's bringing in revenue. So, like I said, there's live, all the merchandise stuff, the chips, the liquor, the this, the that. You know, let's just say you were somebody else. You call him on the phone and you're, hey, will you do a verse with me? Yep, that's 15,000. All right, 15,000 right into him. You know, hey, would you consider coming to do an interview? How much you gonna pay me? That's what he says. I've heard him, you know, do that. How much you gonna pay me? Who knows how much he gets paid? You know, hey, I'll pay you $4,000 or $5,000. Come down here and sit down, answer a few questions for me. All right, I'll be there. I mean, you know, it's not, you know, it's not real hard to figure out that these people are entertainers, and you know, yeah, you know, there is something to a lot of the entertainers. They, you know, they do what they do, and some of it, I'd say a little bit of it, half of it probably, maybe even 75% of it is who he really is. But then you've got this whole big thing where he said if I do, this is coming straight
Just
from his
Sarah
mouth now. You
donated
can go and
$2
find
through
it on the
Super
internet
Chat.
and
So
look
Mas
at one of those
Andre
things.
walked
He
around
says,
and round and
if
round.
I do 4 crazy lives, meaning Instagram lives, a day, that means that I could sit my ass right here during the coronavirus thing in quarantine and get $40,000 a day. He said, what fool is not going to do that? So you got to think. I mean, people are watching it. They like watching pussy. They like watching asses twerk. They like watching all that. So, I mean, yeah, he's bringing in the numbers. He's bringing in whatever it is that these folks want that they're getting money for. The other folks that are paying him to do what, to do these things. And it's a win-win situation for him, So does it make it right? No. But he's doing it, and it's working in his interest.
Okay.
Sure the hell is. It's working in his interest. He's sitting up in a big, what is it, 50-acre, $3 or $4 million home that he designed and built, and then cars and whatever else. Do I think he could go back to jail? Yes, because I think he could cross the line. But do I think that what he's doing is wrong? Yeah, I do, because it's encouraging. But he does have a song out that says, I am the wrong role model. So he's definitely not a role model for your children at all. And that's why I kind of kept up with what was going on, because I had a, teenage son and wanted to see what he was sharing with my teenage son, and no, I didn't like it. I still don't like it. Probably won't ever like all of it, but do I kind of still keep up? Yeah. Because I'm interested to see, how does this man go from this, to not really being a popular dude at all, to go to prison, to his daughter giving him shouts out, hey, I told y'all this end was coming home. I told y'all my daddy was coming home, whatever. And then he gets a lot off of that. Then he finds out about all these different avenues.
Just Sarah
money.
donated $2 through Super Chat. Honcho.
And we're all sitting
Misty,
here watching the
thoughtful
live.
face,
We're
zany
all
face,
sitting here. I'm not
smirking
saying,
face,
all
rolling
of us, but I'm
eyes
saying
face,
there's
face
people
with
that are
monocle,
sitting there,
raised
they're watching those
eyebrow,
live
grimacing
with the asses
face,
twerking and
shushing
the
face,
titties
mouth
flopping
shut
and
face,
whatever's going
hand
on.
over
They're
mouth,
watching
playful
them.
face,
That's money for
mind
him.
blown.
They're buying his booze. That's money. Clothes. That's money. I mean, it all goes back in his pocket. At the end of the day, it all goes back in his pocket. So, hey, you got to look at it one way or another. If if you want to look at it in the Christian way, no, flip him off. Don't look at him. But if you want to look at it in the, hey, I'm a hustler, I'm gonna make some money, $40,000 for 4 lives where he's enjoying himself watching people twerk and whatever else, then he's doing all right.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yes, sir. I didn't know if you knew he had all that. Well, he does. Right down here in Alabama, they sell jailhouse like crazy. Mm-hmm. That's his brand of clothing. Mm-hmm. He, like I said, the alcohol, the this, the that. He's got several things that are out that are in the midst of things he's working on. He's also working on a movie of his life. Mm-hmm. I don't know how well that's going to turn out. Nobody really ever knows, but I imagine people will want to see it. Will it all be true? I don't know, but I'm just saying, there's many avenues and many ways that people learn to make money, and he just happens to be one of those people that hustle and do different things and make the money, and it's coming in because obviously it shows,
Yeah. So here's the deal. It's like, so has Boosie inspired your hustle in any way?
No, not really, but there's plenty of people that do this. Mm-hmm. There are plenty of people that do the same thing he's doing, but on a bigger scale. If you look at the ones, you look at Hollywood, you look at whatever, mm-hmm. They'll go out, they'll open a restaurant, they'll go out, they'll open a bar, they'll get their clothing brand, going because, they're popular. People want to wear their clothes. They'll do this, that, and the other. So have all of those people as a whole inspire me? Hell yeah. Yeah. Because if I can sell some clothes on I've got I've got some nice things. I've got MK purses. I've got Louis Vuitton purses, things like that. If I get on a yard sale site and I sell them,
Misty, what is MK? The Mortal Kombat?
No, that's Michael Kors.
Oh, okay.
Michael Kors purses and things that I bought. So if I decide that, hey, I'm not using these anymore, I'm gonna stick them on this website that's sort of like a yard sale site and quote, I'm gonna sell them, or whatever. That brings me in money. Yeah, I mean, if you look at other people and you see that they're bringing in money a whole lot of different ways, not necessarily your way would be a negative way, because my way is never going to be a negative way. It's always going to be, whatever. But can I keep my hustle and my little grind up? Oh yeah, I can. There's always a way to, do something. So just look at what I'm saying as far as all of those things that he's making money off of, that you and I and whoever is going to buy or visit the restaurant or see the movie or whatever, and that's nothing but supporting him money-wise.
I got a question.
4 lives a day, $40,000. Hell,
that's a grind. But I got a question for you, Miss Misty. Who's calling? We've been on the phone for a little minute, and I want to make
okay. I'll let you go.
Wait. No, wait. I want you to hear. I got a question for you, though. I got a question for you before you go. I have a very important question for you.
Okay.
I would like to know your thoughts on the term Karen. Does that offend you?
Caring? What do you mean caring? Like
Karen. Like if I said, "Hey, Misty, you're a Karen," would that offend you?
You mean like CARING, like care about something?
No. Like Karen, like KAREN, as in like the name Karen.
No, because my motherfucking name is Misty, so I don't know who the fuck they be talking about. I just be my ass on, because I don't know no Karen.
So you wouldn't.
So it wouldn't offend me one bit.
Okay. So if just a random stranger walked up to you in the store, say let's have a scenario, right? So say, do you ever go like to Walgreens or CVS? I don't know what they have in Alabama. If they have something like that, maybe like I think what like
Rite Aid or something. They have all that in Alabama.
Okay. So say you like go and maybe like I guess you go to buy something, and like the cashier's giving you a little flack, right? So you're like, hey, you know what? Can I speak to your manager? And what if under her breath, after you asked to speak to the manager, she called you a Karen? Would you be offended by that?
Hell no, because I don't know Karen.
Okay.
I'm gonna get my shit. If I have to get to the manager, I'm gonna get my shit that I want. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna call you bitch on the way out the door.
I believe that.
And then Karen ain't gonna mean nothing to me, because I don't know who Karen is. I don't give a damn who Karen is. If I get my shit, or if I get my money for my check or whatever I get, Karen can go jump off the damn hill.
That's terrible.
All that matters is my name is Misty. I'm doing my thing, and I'm gonna get my money.
Don't be mean to Karen. Karen's not that bad. Don't be mean to Karen. What kind of haircut do you have, Misty?
I have very long hair. Mm-hmm. I think you've seen some pictures of me. I have very long hair. Green eyes, slim. I think I'm a pretty lady. I don't think there's anything wrong with me. But I have long hair. It's about mid-length down my back.
Have you ever worn like a pixie style haircut?
No.
Okay, just curious, just wondering.
Nope, not me.
Okay. Something else I wanted to ask you, and it slipped my mind. Are you a person that asks for the manager often when you have to resolve a dispute in a store?
Absolutely not, because if you go to a restaurant and they fuck your shit up, more than likely you go back there, they might put some cum on your shit, or they might spit in your shit. I don't play that.
Put some what? Will they put what on your shit?
Well, like, okay, let's just say you went to McDonald's and you ordered a whatever and a whatever, and it didn't come out right. What I'm gonna ask for is this is not what I ordered. You could just give me my money back. And I have never had trouble with that. They'll give your money back, because I'm not going to send it back and have somebody shit in it or spit in it or put sperm in it or anything, or ants or roaches or anything else because they're mad because they think I'm complaining, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to ask for my money back, and I'm going to politely go across the street because no, I don't play that. I don't really play that fast food shit because they eat. There's some evil motherfuckers in this world.
you really think somebody would jizz in your burger?
Do what? Yes, that was on TV at one point in time. Wow. It was a man that got mad at a man who kept coming back asking for shit, and he put stuff in the man's hamburger. Yes, and and also what else was in there? There's just been different things done, and it's not for me. If I order something somewhere, it don't come out right, I give it back, I get my money back, I move the hell next door to wherever else I want to go. Okay, I make all my moves here lately real simple.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the bet. Well,
I just don't put I'm not kind of like I used to be before my mom left here. Now I'm just one of these. We're going to make life simple. If it don't work right here, we're going to move the hell on to over here. Okay. You made the burger. It's not right. Give me my money. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to buy me a burger. I'm going to eat it. It's probably right. And then we're going to move the fuck on. Real simple. Okay. I'm not going to take a chance of getting shit put in my food because they do. I mean, it's just, you go complaining if you want to. You go to Red Lobster. You go wherever you want to go and you complain if your ass want to. You may not come out of there with everything intact the way that you want it to be later on, because you don't know what folks are up to. Yeah. You really don't. You don't know what folks are going to do nowadays. Nothing surprises me. Nothing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
nothing surprises me anymore. So I just do my thing. I order it. If it's not what it's supposed to be, I say, hey, this is not what it's supposed to be. I'd rather get my money back, go somewhere else, and get my money back, and I go somewhere else, and I get the right thing, move the hell on. I don't have time to play no games. I don't have time to be doing no argument. I don't have time for none of that. I do my shit and get on out of there and get through.
I think Boosie would be proud of you for, employing that method instead of just, causing a scene. But here's the deal. Miss Karen, Miss Misty. I kept saying Karen so much, I got it wrong. Miss Misty.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was going to go. I just was, like I said, just trying to.
Okay, well, I appreciate it. Because I want to make sure, get one or two more calls. But I appreciate it. It's good to hear from you. It's been a while. So it's good to know that you didn't kill your stepmom.
But that's the way I'm living nowadays. I'm living
Just Sarah donated $2 through Super Chat. It's the year
like
2035,
if you can't
and Misty is
if
still
you
talking.
can't put the brick
Zany
down
face,
or whatever it is that I need job done or whatever it is, you can't do it. Get the money back. Hell, we'll move on to the next one. You know what I mean? It ain't got to be that hard.
All right, Miss Misty. Well, that's good to hear from you.
All right, talk to you later.
Yeah, hope I talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, have a good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's well. I hope, you guys are out there staying safe. What's the motherfucking deal we have calling into the den this evening?
What the fuck was that? What was that? What the fuck?
That was a conversation.
What the fuck was that, man?
Missy was a suspected, she was a suspect in a murder investigation or possible attempted murder investigation.
My fucking ears.
And so, we just had to follow up and get the details, make sure everything was on the up and up. And fortunately, Misty is fine. And she actually knows a lot more about Lil Boosie than I do. And that surprises me. So, but what's going on, Mr. Ken? What's on your mind this evening, sir?
No, I'm not done with this. This was very traumatic for me. Like, I did not know if I was in real life. Like, I thought that I was drifting off into another dimension on some Stranger Things type shit. Like, I just dozed off. Like, I no shade, though. God bless her. I'm just joking, but I'm serious, though. But look, though. So, look, yo, what the fuck? Yo, like, okay. Look, So with this Boosie shit, like Boosie is a menace to society. I just want to make that clear. Like he's a menace to society. He is the ideal, he is the video game character for, if there's a video game character, there would be Boosie would represent the, I don't even know what to call him. He's beyond Flavor Flav.
Word?
Yeah, he's beyond Flavor Flav to me. Flavor Flav, Boosie. Yes, Boosie, I'm gonna call him Boosie. Boosie has surpassed Mr. Flav. As of now, he has. Oh yeah. You just never know what's gonna come out of his mouth in the same way Flavor Flav was. Very, I keep forgetting that word, but he's to that. But yeah, I just feel like not only is he showing, black boys and men that, he has about, how many kids does he have? 7, 8?
Yeah, he's up there. He has they got a baseball team or something like that.
How many people do you need to have like a starting team baseball?
Like 8 or 9.
Damn. He really does have a baseball team. Okay, so not only does he have a baseball fucking team, they could be like the Boosie. No, the badasses. Yeah, they could be the badasses. The Boosie badasses. Fuck it. Okay, but he has all of those children by fucking 6, 7, 8 baby mama. I mean, nigga been in jail, running the street. His infatuation with gay people. He definitely has an infatuation with gay people.
Really? Why do you say that?
I'm sorry?
So why do you say that? Why do you feel like he has an infatuation with gay people?
Well, do you drive a car, Honcho?
Yes.
What kind of car do you drive, Honcho?
I'm not gonna say it on the stream.
Okay. So the car before you drove, did you have a car before the car that you have now?
Yes.
Okay. So the car that you have now, I'm pretty sure you saw many of those cars on the road after you bought it.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Because it's on your mind. It's yours. You have it. And so you're immediately gonna look out for what you're connected to. No?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're gonna see it. I forgot the term, but yeah, absolutely. When you start recognizing it, you'll see those things more once you've obtained something similar.
Right, it's in your mind. See, we as humans, we think that we can hide things that's on our mind, but we really cannot. When you study psychology, I mean, these are people's jobs. You have the FBI and the CIA and, all of these agencies. How do you think that they're able to, spot a lie in a minute? These are people's jobs to study people's body language, okay? And study people's movements and just everything about, them. But, so with that being said, if you pay attention to the different car that you have now on the road, then why does Boosie, badass, it seems like every other week he's coming out with some type of a statement about, the gay shit. I mean, he said a story about how he was in jail and he went to take a shower and early in the morning, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. and then he saw two men fucking, and he was like, "Oh shit, my bad." He was like, "Yo, I seen the like dude like had his like hands on his ankles, like just bouncing," and just like I was just looking at it, and it's just like, you know, if that's right, if that's something that you don't want to see, you would immediately turn around. You wouldn't be like, "Oh, you know what, y'all do y'all thing. All right." Ain't no motherfucking y'all do y'all motherfucking thing, bitch. I'm out of this damn bathroom with this damn faggotry shit. If I was, you know, the dude that came across that, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't matter to me about how you raise your child, your you know, son or your daughter or your son daughter or your female, whatever the fuck, your mermaid. You know, it wouldn't matter to me. I don't care, you know. So he's definitely has an infatuation with the gays. Let's make that straight. Okay. But he's also promoting, like, in his music, selling drugs, like no snitching, gang violence, irresponsible sexual activity, you know. He goes on social media talking about other folks cheering, you know. What kind of example is that? And he talks about, you know, who is diminishing black families and the black community. And he's paid women to suck off his son's dick. Well, at that age, like wee-wee, sucking off his fucking son's wee-wee and his nephew's fucking wee-wee at 11, 12, 13 years old. That's like preteen. And like, who does that? Ghetto people. That is definitely child molestation for the woman, the adult woman. And he was like adult, like not adult, but like adult. You know, she got me too. And it's like, you fucking same woman that you're not, you know. But this is nothing new to me, because I told you before on this live that, you know, when I was in middle school, I turned like 12. I was like 12, 13. And my mother asked me like the same thing. Like, the girl was like right there, some little easy scallywag friend that she had over, and it was my birthday. And she was like, "Yeah, you know, I could get her to suck your dick, you know, for your birthday. It's my son. And I'm like, I was so uncomfortable. Like, get this crackhead shit away from me. Like, I'm going to my grandmother's house. This is too much for me. Like, I cannot. But this is nothing. I say that to say, like, this is nothing new to me. And, like, I speak a lot about, you know, the black community and things like that. And people, you know, say, well, it's not, you know, all, you know, they get into all of that, you know, this, that, and the third. But it's, you know, it's real shit. Like, people are ghetto. I mean, white people are ghetto too. Like, there are some ghetto white people, you know. Don't be, you know, ghetto is not like a skin color. It's the way you act. It's your lifestyle. And, you know, Boosie is very much ghetto, you know, and he is, you know, the character in a game that represents De La Ghetto, you know. And the niggas love him. I mean, hey, it's a lot of people that I've seen in the comments and, you know, in the shade room and things like that, you know. They're all for it. You know, go Boosie. You know, you know, I don't quite get it, because, and that's why I kind of stay away from ghetto people, because I don't understand them, and sometimes they are very, sometimes they can be, what's the word? Okay, I've been drinking, so bear with me. Ghetto people can be, what's the word, when you know Like something, like someone's actions before they do it. What's the word, Honcho?
Are we talking about psychic?
Like if you go to the mailbox every day at 7 o'clock, your actions are
predictable.
Predictable. Thank you.
Shout out to Jen. Jen Smith with the win.
Shout out to Jen with the win, the predictable. Yeah, like predictable. Sometimes they're predictable, but then at other times, ghetto people are really unpredictable. Like, you never know what.
Mystical is unpredictable.
And look what led him in jail. Like, was it some rape shit or molestation? Which one was it?
I don't know exactly. I think he had the raped the chick and he had it on tape or whatever. So yeah, that's not smart. So yeah.
Yeah, but look, the person who just got off the phone. I mean, no shade, but the girl said dude had a clothing line. Boosie had a Boosie had a clothing line. He gets paid. Boosie gets paid, to sit on live and act stupid, and like stir up controversy and like on and on, and it's like, he has this and he has that. But if that's the point, Bill Cosby donated millions to colleges and HBCUs, cancer patients, and made history. Shit, why don't we just, applaud him? I mean, even though it's kind of different situations, but it's still like not good, I feel as though that he's a character, because when she said that, he sits on live and acts stupid, and I'm not like going at anybody, but I'm just just want to make a point, and I'm gonna go. She said he acts stupid, and that's what, and I'm not doing no race shit, but just, hear me out. That's what, many white people say in reference to when black people are acting like that. And there are many people who actually act like that, and it's not acting. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, that's literally like how they are. That's literally how they sound. That's literally how they talk. That's literally their mannerism. So that's what I'm saying. How Boosie, he kind of he adds on to the notion that this is how black people act. And as I told you before, how people from Ghana and Nigeria and Asia and all of these other places, like I told you before, they send their children over here to go to school and be successful and, send money back home and things. Do not bring no fucking black person home. Do not bring no man home. Do not bring no nigga home. They will leave you. Their men will give you heartbreak and beat on you and have different babies' mothers, and the girls will want to fight you, and all of this. They will bring you down. Why? Because this is what we see on social media. This is what we see on TV. This is how parents really, tell their children when they come over here. And Africans, the whole nine. I mean, do you not like? Do you like not get it? No.
I mean, it is. I never did that. Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's an odd situation. Again, like I say, people are who they are, and definitely, I'm sure Boosie's upbringing and people who would probably be from the same area, then it wouldn't be a thing. And I get it. Like I know some folks who probably wouldn't be a thing, and probably if I was the kid benefiting from it, I probably wouldn't care. It wouldn't be a thing to me. You know, I'm getting acted like a grown up, but you know, from a different perspective, you know.
But don't you think that will cause some psychological damage to the child to, you know, have that, you know, because I had sex at an early age too, and that, you know, I told, you know, I mentioned stuff about this, and that could have some psychological damage to the child, you know, on how he treats women when he grows up. You know, he's, you know, basically raising another fucking douchebag.
Well, I mean, that's a whole different conversation because I think there's a few tiers to that, a few layers to that you have to peel back. But I mean, the thing is, he's Boosie kid. I'm sure that you know his pops will give him some of the hustle that Misty says Boosie has, and you know he'll be able to take it and run with it, and you know be doing his own thing. He won't start from the bottom like Boosie did. So I think you know it's going to be different for him anyway. So you know it just kind of is what it is.
I hope so, man. Thanks for having me on. Good to talk to you, everybody. Shout out to everybody.
All right. Well, real quick, Mr. Ken.
Yeah.
What is the beverage of choice this evening?
Oh, excuse me. That was a big one. It's something like just some Michael Kors, like Michael Kors, like.
Okay.
You're what, like a Coroni, or probably not around this time. What? Budweiser. Budweiser is like what? That's for people who live in the woods, no?
Nah, man, I don't know. I'm not much of a beer drinking person, but that's a funny fucking sight. All right, well, that's a bit bad. Well, Mr. Ken, like I say, it's about time for the wind up. But I appreciate you calling, man. It's good to hear from you and you know, hear your thoughts on the matter.
Yeah, most definitely. Shout out, you know, protect yourself, continue to protect yourself from the quote unquote Rona, and much love to everybody. Be safe.
All right. Thanks, sir. You have a good evening.
You too.
Yeah. So we're gonna get ready to wind it down there because you know, it's about that time. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get into the Discord. I'm sure the Discord is already active. And it was a good conversation last night. And Lady Licious thinks she's funny. And some of y'all look, some of these den folk, and I get it too. When I'm not there, I get made fun of too. It is what it is. It's part of the game. If you're not there, you get talked about. That's just how it is. You know, you don't want to get talked about, be there, but you probably still get talked about even if you are there. That's kind of how it works. So you know, it is what it is. What was the question? I had my bad. I had missed it. Broderick and Man Cave. We slid out already, but so. I'm going to get ready to slide to Discord for a little bit. We'll have some good conversation as goes down in the Discord, I guess. And then, you know, it is what it is. But I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. Man. Like, no, the Discord is terrible. Like, y'all got like some late night crews going on in there that I was waking up when y'all was just getting off Discord. I tell y'all had comments at 5 a.m. and shit. I'm like, God damn, y'all still in here? But anyway, I'm trying to reduce. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all, it is my honor, again, my privilege, but most of all, my pleasure. Shout out to Mr. Man Cave, aka Man Up, for joining us this evening. Thank you for the caller. Shout out to Misty for basically being a Boosie wiki. You know, I learned a lot tonight, so I thank you for allowing me to, you know, get some of your Boosie tutelage, Miss Misty. And if anybody calls you a Karen, tell them you've already been certified non-Karen. You know, don't let them don't let them feel any kind of way about it. Now, Lady Licious is a Karen on the other hand. But with that being said, man, hey, make sure you're following on Sauce, but not Sauce Sports. What the fuck? Den Show Live on. Is it Den Show Live? No, it's Ed Honcho. I don't even use Den Show. Den Show Live on Facebook. Ed Honcho HTX on this. That's how you let something tell. When I get around this time of night, I start getting fucking tired. Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter if you want to get updated, if you want to get, you know, information, everything. But like I say, if you're not a part of the Discord, let me make sure I put the link in there. Come join the Discord conversation. everybody's welcome. You can get into the voice chat. You can chat with all the rest of the den folk. Again, like if y'all want to have some live discussion on this conversation, like I say, we can definitely do that. And you just want to text chat or you want to be in the voice chat. And, both of those options are available. Let me see. It was something else I was going to say. Let me make sure I put this in the right. Yeah, there we go. All right. I'll put that link in there. So make sure y'all join it. There's always good stuff going on. You never know what you're going to get again. If you miss it, you miss it in the Discord. But again, I'm trying to produce. Yeah, it's definitely, y'all already about 40. The biggest troublemakers are already in the Discord. I see all four of y'all. Y'all are the biggest troublemakers. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all, man. I'm trying to produce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. The rest of y'all who don't show up, well, we'll be gladly talking trash about y'all. But it's all love. Nothing but love. I thank y'all for being here. I really do. I'm your boy Ed Honcho, man, and I'm out.